On the evening of July 21st, during the rush hour, the central urban area of Shanghai was unexpectedly hit by a torrential downpour and continuous thunderstorms. Many areas experienced severe flooding, turning streets into rivers and making driving more like sailing. A viral video circulating on the internet shows that in the streets of Shanghai, a large number of vehicles were submerged in water and the water level rose rapidly, reaching the height of car windows. Another video showed some sections of roads experiencing severe flooding, with elevated bridges becoming water bridges as the bridge's barriers were about to be overflowed. Shanghai netizens shared their experience of driving in the flooded areas. This evening, on my way home, I drove through several deep, waterlogged sections. When I got home and checked, I was stunned to find that my front license plate was missing. It's truly unprecedented. The security guard in my residential compound told me I was the third person today to lose a license plate. On that day, an online video platform, Bilibili, was hosting a large-scale anime exhibition at the Shanghai Exhibition Center. Videos shared by netizens show that the entire exhibition center was submerged with over 1 foot deep water. Many people were seen winding through, carrying their shoes and avoiding getting them soaked. You wouldn't believe it. When we came here, everything was just fine. Ha 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 ha. And now we can't go back. Even the high-ended Shanghai Sam's Clubs got flooded. Some shops along the street were also flooded. Another netizen said they took their child to Xinghua Hospital for medical treatment. After the treatment, they came out only to find that the entire corridor was filled with water. According to reports from Chinese media, it was mentioned that Shanghai is currently implementing a project where rainwater and sewage are being discharged separately. A considerable number of drainage pipes have been relayed, and some residential areas completed the construction just last month. However, unexpectedly, after the renovation was completed, there have been multiple instances of flooding that haven't been seen in the past 20 years. On July 22nd, Hangzhou was also struck by heavy rain. The streets were filled with waterlogged vehicles floating on river-like roads. In the midst of this, a restaurant was hosting a banquet, and many guests found themselves standing in knee-deep water. On July 21st, Xiangxi also experienced a disaster due to heavy rain. Videos shared by netizens showed torrents of floodwater rushing down the streets, while street vendors on both sides took refuge on higher ground. In the video, some people were complaining about the drainage system in Xi'an. Wow, it's just mind-blowing. The only word to describe it is mind-blowing. That drainage system, Xi'an, oh Xi'an, this is your drainage system. On the morning of July 21st, heavy rain poured down in Chongqing, and due to poor drainage, some areas experienced waist-deep flooding. In low-lying areas, the water level even reached the point of submerging small cars. Chongqing Metro Line 3 also suspended its service due to the accumulation of water. According to online videos, on the morning of July 21st, around 7 a.m., a man entered an underground parking lot in Beibei County's Xianma district in Chongqing and was submerged by the rising floodwaters. As of 5 p.m. that day, the local authorities stated that they could only assess the man's situation once the water receded. However, some local residents claim that the man had already drowned. Chongqing citizens mentioned that the severe flooding in Beibei County was due to river blockage and poor drainage, causing water to rise on the roads before the water in the riverbed had a chance to rise. In the past, it was the water in the riverbed that would rise first before flooding the roads. They mentioned that it's currently the rainy season and floods are happening everywhere in the country. Government officials seem to neglect the maintenance and construction of such basic infrastructure while prioritizing their own profits. Netizens say every heavy rain turns our city into a water city. The severe flooding happens in every city, but don't the relevant departments take any responsibility? Urban flooding has become a stubborn problem in many cities in China. Despite significant investment by local governments in various municipal transformation projects, including the construction of sponge cities costing billions of yuan, these initiatives seem to fail when the rainy season arrives. As usual, citizens continue to bear the brunt of the massive losses caused by urban flooding. China's southern region is currently in the midst of the plum rain season, which typically occurs each year from May to July. This weather pattern, characterized by extended periods of drizzly rain, is common in areas along the south of the middle and lower reaches of the Yangtze River. The formation of the plum rain is primarily due to warm, moist air from the South China Sea and the Indian Ocean interacting with the cold, dry air from Siberia in this region. The boundary line formed by the differing air masses upon contact is referred to as a front, which when moving quickly is undergoing intense changes, can trigger severe convective weather phenomena such as heavy short-term precipitation, thunderstorms, and high winds. Entering June, various parts of China have encountered extreme weather conditions like heavy rain, strong winds, and hail, sparking secondary disasters. Provinces and cities in the south like Guangxi, Sichuan, Chongqing, Hubei, Hunan, Guizhou, and Xiangxi have suffered from torrential rain-induced disasters with instances of landslides and collapses. Continuous heavy rain in Yuling, Xiangxi, for instance, disrupted transportation and triggered mudslides. Several towns have experienced flooding disasters with vehicles on the streets being submerged. In Guangxi, 11 rivers have exceeded their warning water levels. In the coming days, many southern provinces still face the threat of heavy rainfall. On July 11th at 16:30, due to heavy rainfall, Baoping County in Yan'an City of Sichuan Province experienced a sudden flash flood and mudslide in Wulong Township. Some houses were damaged and local authorities are organizing the evacuation of endangered residents. Reports state that extreme and severe weather conditions have led to a temporary traffic control on sections of National Highway 351 from Baoping's Lianghekou to Chaotanshan and Hepingkang village, as well as on Provincial Highway 432 from Baoping's Lianghekou to Longdong town. Videos shared by netizens show mudslides and floodwaters pouring down along the river, causing significant damage to houses near the riverbanks. Around 3:30 p.m. on June 29, a medium-sized passenger vehicle carrying 18 people in Fengjie County, Chongqing, was hit by a falling rock from a 30-meter high hill while driving on the road between Gongping Town and Hongtu Township. The incident resulted in the death of 6 passengers and minor injuries to 9 others. Following the impact, the driver and passengers immediately took emergency self-rescue measures and dialed for an ambulance. 6 passengers were found lifeless at the scene. 9 injured passengers were quickly rushed to the hospital, while 3 passengers were unharmed. From the evening of June 29 to June 30th, the Xiangxi, Tujia, and Miao Autonomous Prefecture in Hunan Province was hit by a severe downpour. Due to the region's complex terrain, steep slopes, and towering mountains, heavy rainfall easily triggers natural disasters such as landslides and mudslides. Footage uploaded by internet users show furious torrents sweeping down mountains, even flowing through residential houses, leading to many homes' collapses. Multiple landslides have occurred, interrupting road connectivity, and floodwaters have risen above bridge surfaces, sweeping away many vehicles along with debris and logs. Eyewitnesses could be heard crying out, "There are still people in the car."
雨下这个天，雨下这个天了，好怕噻！哎呀，其实那个雨噻，就在车出去了，就在车出去了，都帐篷嘛，啊，我在车子里压着出去了，手机。哦，你要掐死了，快看了。
According to mainland media reports, Xiangxi has experienced an extreme rainfall event that hasn't been seen for decades. In some areas, the precipitation has exceeded 300 milliliters, equivalent to 3 months' worth of rainfall in a single day. Among them, Baojin County recorded 314.5 milliliters of rainfall, breaking the historical extreme since meteorological records began in 1961. The second highest rainfall was in Xiangxi Forest in Guzhang County with 288.8 milliliters, while the rainfall in Luoyi Creek, Guzhang County urban area, and the Duanlong mountain town exceeded 250 milliliters. Such rainfall amounts have already exceeded more than a tenth of the region's annual precipitation. And because it was concentrated in a short period of time, severe flooding ensued. Many areas in Xiangxi turned into waterlogged towns. Streets in Fenghua Ancient Town, Baojin County, and Guzhang County were submerged. The Tuojiang River rose, flooding homes along its banks, and parts of the highways were destroyed by mudslides, causing traffic disruptions and standing residents. Guzhang County was the hardest hit of all. Guzhang radio and television station reported that heavy rain caused communication disruptions and road collapses in parts of Guzhang County, with over 400 affected residents already relocated. Video footage showed urban roads in Guzhang County turn into rivers, with cars being swept away and river waters overflowing the bridges. On some major roads, large amounts of mud and rocks were pushed into the road surface from drainage ditches on the side. In the new city district of Guzhang County, a massive landslide and mudslide occurred near the Tongming Mountain Tunnel on Guluo Avenue. A large amount of sand and stone poured down from above the tunnel entrance onto the road surface below, causing a large-scale obstruction and temporary traffic disruption. The Xiangxi, Tujia, and Miao Autonomous Prefecture is home to minority nationalities in China. Located at the intersection of the Yunnan-Guizhou Plateau and the western Hubei mountainous region, it mainly consists of mountains, along with hills and small plains. Local residential buildings also largely features the indigenous characteristics of the ethnic minorities. Structures like Miao villages and Tujia stilted buildings are still preserved in some of the original villages. These primitive villages are mostly built in the mountainous areas, and this torrential rain has severely affected the local residents. On June 26, Baoji City in Shanxi province experienced a rare bout of violent wind and heavy rain, with hail falling in the Wangbing district. Video footage uploaded by internet users showed fierce winds causing debris to fly about and many large trees being snapped, falling on parked cars along the roadside. The gales were so strong that they knocked down a telecommunications tower of several dozen meters in height.
摆到这人都来不及撤下来，我天哪！一定要平安呀！好揪心呀！心都碎了。终于进去了，太好了！完了，怎么又下这么大的冰雹？
他家老天爷就像个老火，你看，视野也大气，你看。
At 5:30 p.m. on June 30th, the Xiangxi Provincial Meteorological Station issued a blue code warning of heavy rain, predicting thunderstorms and heavy rain in some areas from July 1 to 2, accompanied by thunder and lightning with local short-term torrential rain and strong thunderstorms. In recent times, extreme weather has been sweeping across various regions in China. Apart from the torrential rain in south, northern areas including Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei, and Shandong are sweltering under a heat wave, with some regions experiencing temperatures exceeding 41 degrees Celsius, shattering historical records. Across the nation, a staggering 2,830 weather stations have reported highest 24-hour temperatures exceeding 40 degrees, most of them located in North China and the Huai River region. At 2 p.m. on June 22nd, Tangheguo town in the Huai Road district of Beijing registered the nation's highest temperature of 41.8 degrees, breaking local records. The same day, Beijing's southern suburb observatory recorded a high of 41.1 degrees, breaking the June record and ranking second in the history of its observations. Additionally, the afternoon ground temperature at the observatory hit 71.8 degrees Celsius, also ranking second in its observational history. After recording 2 consecutive days of temperatures exceeding 40 degrees Celsius on June 23rd, Beijing achieved a historical first three-peat of 40-degree plus temperatures on the 24th. Simultaneously, Tianjin, located 120 kilometers away, also recorded a historical three-peat high temperature record of 40 degrees.
河南那边小麦都发了芽，山东这边都旱成这个样，老天真是不公啊！能不能来点雨露丰瘉？这农民种的这一颗粮食啊，从播种到收获是真不容易啊！
也得40度，是吧？你看那个小岗亭，那小岗亭我估计也得40度，是不是太热啦？热了，你那保安亭都待不住了吧？待不住。哎呀，太热了。
According to the China Meteorological Administration, this June temperatures have been among the highest records since modern meteorological observations began. The previous record high was 40.6 degrees on June 10th in 1961. Beijing's highest temperature on record was on July 24th, 1999, when it reached 41.9 degrees Celsius. The Weather China website states that since the start of June, 46 national weather stations have reported record-breaking daily high temperatures. As of June 23rd, a total of 185 high-temperature red warnings were in effect across China, mainly concentrated in the Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei agglomeration and Shandong. It's not just Beijing. The temperatures in the Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei agglomeration and Shandong have been steadily rising, with many places exceeding 40 degrees Celsius. Among them, Xiqing in Tianjin hit 40.6 degrees Celsius, and Tianjin's urban area recorded 41.2 degrees Celsius, both breaking local temperature records. Chinese meteorologists indicate that the current heat wave is caused by a warm air mass associated with the atmospheric high-pressure ridge, amplified by thin cloud cover and long daylight hours around the summer solstice. Some internet users have suggested that extreme weather in China is traditionally a warning from a higher power. Historical records also show that throughout the rise and fall of various dynasties in China, natural disasters played a significant role. For instance, during the decline of the Qing dynasty, there were unprecedented floods. Prolonged heavy rain caused regions like Shandong and Anhui province to become inundated, turning them into waterlogged areas. The later period of the Western Han dynasty experienced continuous floods, droughts, and insect infestations. The late Eastern Han dynasty was plagued by multiple epidemics. In the late period of the Shui dynasty, major floods struck Shandong and Henan provinces, submerging more than 40 counties, followed shortly by an outbreak of diseases. In the waning years of the Southern Song dynasty, a major epidemic hit the Yangtze area in Zhejiang province. The late Ming dynasty and Qing dynasty were also marked by widespread epidemics claiming numerous lives. Since 1998, China has experienced a series of natural disasters year after year, including droughts, floods, earthquakes, locust infestations, and more. Even uncommon phenomena like sandstorms, heat waves, and red tides have become more prominent, hitting China suddenly. By 2019, the country faced the COVID-19 pandemic, plague, African swine fever, locust infestation, floods, droughts, and other calamities affecting various regions. After we entered 2023, natural disasters continue to occur, prompting further unease among the general Chinese public.